Let me begin this video by dismissing everything you're probably thinking from the title of this video. I am not a die-hard SonAmy fan. I'm not a Sonic shipper. I'm not a shipper in general. But I will say this, I don't think that SonAmy should die. Now you're probably wondering, why am I implying that this relationship is going to die? Well, it's actually from this little Bumblekast video that Ian Flynn put out a little while ago. Let's take a look.
The whole goal with Amy's story in Frontiers was to bring it to some kind of end, because this whole will they won't they cat and mouse that we're never going to actually get an answer on felt antagonistic, not necessarily intentionally, but you know, this constantly dangling carrot without any real commitment one way or the other. It's like, let's just have them move on in some way, do the characters a service so that there's more to them than just the, will they have kisses one day? Do something. And so part of it was Amy's resolve to share her love with the world, to not have her entire existence revolve around someone who's always running away from her. You know, she has so much love to give. She has so much potential. Instead of focusing it on one person, give it to the world and see what a force she can be.
Now, it's my understanding that this was the initial intention with Amy Rose's story in Sonic Frontiers, but Sega put the kibosh on that and decided to go a different direction, keeping the Amy and Sonic will they won't they still semi-alive. Now, I say semi because it wasn't explored at all really in Sonic Frontiers or any other recent Sonic game for that matter. But before I dive into my rebuttal on Ian Flynn's words, I do want to start off by saying I actually do think that what he says makes some sense. Dangling that carrot and not committing to this relationship is kind of like a slap in the face. However, I think it only is a slap in the face if you plan on ending the series that way. For example, one of my favorite will they won't they tensions in media is Deku and Uraraka from My Hero Academia, where it doesn't serve as the main plot point for the entire series, nor for Deku's character, but more so for Uraraka. I use these two as a comparison because they're somewhat similar to Sonic and Amy's storyline, where Uraraka, a lot of her character is found on the fact that she has a big crush on Deku, and same thing goes with Amy and Sonic. However, the big thing that separates these two pairings is the fact that one is from a series that does end, and the other is from an ongoing franchise. When My Hero Academia ended back in August of 2024, a lot of people were upset because Uraraka's character didn't feel fully finished because she never really went back and did anything with Deku. That was just a part of her character that just was left unexplored. I don't want to get into too many specifics just because of spoilers, but this was rectified. But I use these two as a comparison because it shows what happens when you leave a story with a will they won't they unanswered. The fans were upset because you essentially created a storyline that you never planned on actually executing. And this is exactly why I see Ian Flynn's point. This example is why I understand where he's coming from with the whole idea of dangling the carrot and then saying, ooh, psych, we're not gonna do it. But again, the reason why you don't have to do that with Sonic is because this is a video game franchise. You don't need to end this. There's no cohesive story tying everything together as neatly as an anime or a manga. And the other thing that kind of frustrates me about what Ian Flynn had to say was that he felt as though, or at least he said anyway, that let's give more to them than will they have kisses. And I feel like that's doing a disservice to what's already been given to both of these characters. I'm not going to turn this into another Amy Rose character analysis video because I think I've done plenty of those. But I will just say this. I think out of any character in the Sonic the Hedgehog series, I think Amy has probably had the most character development. At one point, Ian Flynn was right. Amy was really just nothing but a Sonic the Hedgehog fangirl. But over the span of games like Sonic CD, Adventure, Adventure 2, Heroes, and Unleashed, she changes a lot. And honestly, I'd argue it's a very natural progression. We see how much she cares about other people outside of Sonic in those games. So Ian Flynn saying that Amy needing to share her love with the world outside of just Sonic is a little redundant because she's already done that. We see her save Birdie in Sonic Adventure. We see her become the voice of reason to Shadow in Sonic Adventure 2. We see her save Chocolatchow and Froggy in Sonic Heroes. And even then, her relationship with Sonic becomes more than just infatuation. It becomes trust, commitment, and belief that he is just the source of good. Her unwavering belief in Sonic and games like Sonic 06 is just a testament to that fact. So for Ian Flynn to say that he wants Amy to become more than just will they have kisses, I think is just so unfair to what Sega has already done with this character. But let's pretend in a parallel universe where Sega decides to go with Ian Flynn's suggestion and actually end the whole SonAmy relationship and have Amy move on in Frontiers. Wouldn't that just irritate a lot of people? Wouldn't that just make people so mad that after all these years of Amy being in love with Sonic, infatuated with Sonic, to just abruptly end it in one game just because you felt like it and just because you didn't want to lead people on anymore? This probably would have been fine years ago, but as fans, we've seen what Amy loving Sonic does for her character and just how it matures her overall, even though in the beginning it was a little sloppy and a little aggressive. But now it's gotten to a point where, at least in Sonic 06, where it was built on trust and actual belief in the good that he brings. If Amy just suddenly and abruptly stopped liking Sonic, that would feel like a greater slap in the face than allowing her to just continue liking him and never committing to it. We've already seen what a force Amy Rose can be, and I think just removing the relationship she has with Sonic, at least the romantic one, doesn't do any service to her whatsoever. It's funny, this Bumblekast came out in 2023 and I'm just now seeing it, and I feel like I had to respond to it. So I don't know if you felt a little passionate, tone in my voice, but as you can see, I'm really riled up. Before I wrap up this video, I want to make one thing clear. This is not me coming down on Ian Flynn. I enjoy Ian Flynn's writing. I think he's a great writer for this series, but I do think that Amy Rose is probably the one area in which we're having a hard time writing for. I'm not sure if he has an aversion towards Amy Rose, but I just think that we need to do better. I mean, I'm looking at Sonic Racing Crossworld's dialogue, and everyone looks great, and Amy Rose is just so mid. I don't like her writing at all in this game. But what do you guys think? Do you think SonAmy should die? I want to hear all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. I don't know. I need to go outside. But as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. This is your boy Sonic signing out. Have a super blessed day, y'all.
Why are you playing that trash?